at all. So you upload that to a website, and they will send that file to the someone who have a 3D printer, and then that object gets to you. So it's like OLX for 3D printing, maybe.
Yeah, I'm Krishnamurthy here.
Yes, sir.
Are you making any other product connected to this? In the sense, you're saying that if I want to make a product, then I have to design it in AutoCAD or something?
Yes. Yeah, there is an option of 3D scanners. Anybody know Xbox 360? Okay, so there is a connect a gaming device thing magic. Anybody know? So that connect is actually also acts as a 3D scanner. So I can somebody is sitting here. I can that connect sensor. If I move around with that around that person, it will scan his face and whole surface, and then I can print it. I have an example of it. Let me show you. So this is a bust of actually my friend. So we have just scanned him and printed him. So so we can have a different quality. If you want to make mechanical parts, you need to be dimensionally accurate very much. Then we need like very expensive scanners which can be available on rent, because they are in like crores actually. There is one more thing you can do at your home also. There is a software called 123D Catch. 123D Catch. What you take, again, get a person and take around 50 or 40 photos of him from each angle. And then that software takes those all photo and generate a 3D model from it. Then you can print it, whatever you want to do it. You can put horns on it, you can modify it, whatever you can do when you have a 3D model.
Are you also looking at different materials? Now you're using heat to melt the plastic and make this.
So the PLA is one material, ABS is there, nylon, there are flexible materials which are very ideal for iPhone cases.
Are you looking at some solvent so that you can spray it instead of heat it?
So there are, not that type. You have to heat it because then you have to need some chemical process to get it hardened again. So it becomes very complex. As a solvent, you can have two extruders here, and one actually extrudes support material. So imagine I want to print something like this. So as you know, it starts from bottom, but it's a melting plastic. If you try to print here in air, the plastic will just drop right now. So what that other extruder will do is actually make a support structure from the bottom up. And then you dissolve in other material, so that material is dissolved completely. So you have more accuracy. Yes?
But what I was thinking, you can have then 3D X-ray printings. Especially now we have CAT scans and MRI.
Yes.
But which are printed two-dimensional.
Absolutely. I had my CAT scan, lots of them, but I didn't ask them. But getting 3D models from CAT scan is very easy actually. There is a story that in China, there was a heart surgeon getting ready for surgery. So it make a CAT scan out of that heart, printed on the printer, and get a full idea of the whole aspect.
Where to exact, so more precision.
Yeah, medical have big uses for this. Now we are using plastic. Some people are trying with cells or tissues. So they can make 3D printed organs directly. So that is the thing they are working on. This thing sounds like the most science fiction, but looks what I'm seeing right now, it looks like it's going to be the most practical thing going to happen. Yeah.
Now there is one thing for teachers here now. See, what we see, one of the major problems with innovations is, now our great innovators have positive thinking, and they think in terms of how it can help humanity and science and progress. But the human tendency is to abuse things much faster than use. Yeah, one such thing is you have democratization of media.
Yeah.
You know, from former big camera, now we have come to digital camera, mobile camera. And so if you have a good idea, you can make a film. That is democratization of media. And what I was telling in my speech is, we are taught language of text, but we are not taught language of image and sound. So we don't know how to actually, one image is an alphabet. So when you put 5 images together, it becomes a word. And when you put cluster of these words together, the storytelling in film is exactly like storytelling in a book. Yeah. But you are not taught the grammar of it. And that needs to be introduced. But along with that, for teachers, is to use it for what purpose and not to use it for what purpose. I think that becomes the biggest responsibility of a teacher, and I think now there's high emphasis on value education also. Right?
Yeah, I think we'll just have this, and in fact, Anup and Dr. Agashi go on the stage, because then we can also have, I'm sure there are a million questions waiting for you, Anup. Hmm?
By the way, just one thing. On speaking of abusing 3D printers, you can make guns out of it. So there is actually a bit controversy. In USA, the guns are some issue. Some people say everybody should have guns. Some people say a gun should be limited, etc. So some people who are like rebels designed a gun which can be 3D printed, and actually it just survives just one shot, and after that it melted out. So that's about the abusing of technology. This can happen. Mass production, can a common man afford it? That machine. Right now, the importance of this machine is to ease of use right now, and we are not actually mass manufacturing right now. It's very on small scale. So right now, that's why it's around say 70,000 something. We are selling this machine, but afterwards we can easily see this come down to say 30,000, 15,000. So it's like a price of your mobile phone. The main issue is not getting printers cheaper, it's getting the content out there, because not everybody knows how to make a 3D model. You know how to use a camera on your phone and how to print it on a normal printer, but that is not the same thing for the 3D models right now. That's why content generation is a big issue to be solved. Thank you. Yeah. Yes. That can actually, the archaeological use is very big. In museums, you have some archaeological artifacts. This needs to be preserved. So you can scan them and keep them, record of them forever, like we scan old documents, like that.
Yeah, so just like you have a 2D camera.
Yes.
And you can print a 2D image.
Yes.
If you had a 3D camera, could you print a 3D
Absolutely. That's why I'm actually talking about the 3D scanner or the Xbox Connect. So these things needs to be improved little bit. Actually, funny enough, Google is working on that. They are getting a new phone made, something which have like 2 cameras and scan the whole room. So after that, it can scan a person also.
Yeah. This will be a wonderful teaching aid. Yeah, I'm here.
Yes, sorry.
So, have you thought about any ideas about how you can get it till schools and colleges? Pricing?
Pricing was, that is not my decision right now. I'm just a technology guy. Yeah, teaching is a big deal. We are actually focusing. We are actually making some educational tools which can be 3D printed for exploring. Another a good use that was making dioramas for the blinds. So you make, if you want to tell them stories visually, so they have like a tactile feel surface, they can actually feel and see the scene, basically, with just by their touch.
All three of you spoke about how you went through your journey. Can you guys also highlight like difficulties you faced and how you overcame them?
During your journey, what are the difficulties that you faced?
During my journey, difficulties which I faced, technology. Very bad. So one of my major problems, I think, I must have told you in one of the sessions earlier, how did I turn to acting, because I found it extremely difficult to read and understand, the book. If I started reading, by the end of my first page, I would have forgotten the first para. So I had to go again and read again and again to understand. But if the same thing was told to me, I understood it much quickly, right? So probably I must have been a case of dyslexia undiagnosed, which was very good in a sense, because then I could not get any benefits of sympathy, you know. And so I had to find my own ways to study. So one of the ways I found, and particularly in medical college, because as you know, medical books are impossible. They're probably best used in physical fitness centers, you know, than for reading, you know, just lifting instead of. They're so big, you can't. And to read them, my God. Actually, it must be your experience also. It's so difficult to finish a textbook in a year. But you can finish a novel in a day. So you have to think why it's like. So my major problem was how to do. Then I found a better way. What? Make friends with intelligent people who read. Yeah? So all my friends were toppers, you know. And since I was a close friend, they were obliged to give their notes to me. And they were notes very specific. They're short and nice. And books, because they're highlighted. So they take great effort sitting, reading, and then finding out what exactly is the crux. Yeah? So that was my first trick. And the second trick was, after about a year and hour and a half, generally everybody is tired, you know, reading, because it's a cognitive fatigue. And the neurons have cognitive fatigue, right? So they are looking for someone to say, let's have coffee or tea. So I would say, let's have coffee. Good. And then, whatever I did not know, I generally made a wrong statement. And they said, no, it's not like that. I said, of course it's like that. How do you know? I know, I read it. What did you read? Then he would tell me what he read. So if you have difficulties, you also have to find the way of getting over the difficulties. And sometimes it's very good not to be diagnosed too early. Yeah. Thank you.
So I think the hardest part for us was trying to convince people that gaming is a business. I mean, like as a kid, you know, you're always told by your parents,